Hey there, Chad here, and this is Pro Cycling Manager 23. I think this is episode 7 of my Complete Beginner's Guide, and we are still on the Pro Cyclist mode where we play as a single rider trying to improve our career. We are still in our first season, and I'm at level 2. Basically, just completed the first stage of a 4-stage race, and we're going to go ahead and advance to the next stage. In the race yesterday, I attempted to get some mountain points, and I failed miserably. And I fell way back in contention. I think I finished 102nd. I'd like to bump that up a little bit. If I have carte blanche again, I think I'm going to maybe not try for the mountain points this time. Instead, kind of see where I can place amongst the leaders at the finish line. And once again, I do have carte blanche. I have nobody working with me, or at least not that I can control. I think what I'm going to do is tag along behind somebody else and see how that works for me for a while. Race day condition of 0. That's not too bad. I'm gonna jump on Lupe's back tire here, and let's see how that goes. Now, if the opportunity to grab some mountain points presents itself, I'm not going to pass on that, but I'm not going to chase this initial breakaway to try to get out front and do that. This will probably be a fast race. I'm going to be doing a lot of skipping ahead. If we take a quick look at this, with only 3 riders out there, assuming that's the only breakaway that happens, that second mountain stage, there could be a couple of points available for the peloton. And I will be paying attention to that as we get closer and make a decision. Looks like Lowell has gone back to get water for us. Okay, there's still nobody broken out, and we're at the bottom of this climb. I'm going to go ahead and start doing my own effort at 85 and try to slide up through here and see if maybe I can steal a couple of points. I might have done that a little too early. Okay, and I should have gotten a couple of points there. Yep, looks like I got 4. Drop back into following somebody on my team to try to save as much energy as I can. Bez is way back here, isn't he? I guess it's not completely at the end, but fairly far back there. On the other hand, he hasn't used a lot of energy. I've used way more than he has, and that includes just following him. I noticed about a quarter of the way in, I had already dropped noticeably on my green bar, and his hadn't budged, which tells me that he's more efficient at the type of riding that we were doing there. I don't know what his abilities are just yet. I only get the pie wedges when I click on him, but he looks like he's probably a fairly balanced rider. And I am happy to sit back here in his shadow until we get down to about 15K, 10K to go. It looks like we will catch the breakaway here in just a moment. All right, we caught the breakaway and we have 10K to go. So I'm going to go ahead and get myself set up here. I'm going to go with effort at 80. Start to get myself positioned. I will use my gel in probably about 2 kilometers since it's a climb. You know what? I'm going to go ahead and use it now. Hopefully it hits right there at the bottom. Okay, we're about to hit that incline. And as soon as there we are, as soon as we got to 3%, I wanted to go ahead and hit it. And see if we can get up there. I want to use my sneak ability. I didn't time this perfectly, but much better finish probably than yesterday's race. And I don't know if I'll hold on to a top 20 or not. Maybe. Yeah, there's some sprinters coming up behind me. I'm not going to quite make that, but I will take this good finish, though, compared to the 102nd yesterday. About 24th, 25th is what I think I'll have here. '24th. Okay, well, there was nothing spectacular about that run, so let's go ahead and get to the results and see how that impacted things. So after yesterday's stage, I was 102nd with 24th place finish today. I'm in 7th place overall. I'm not quite sure how that works. Okay, folks, so I apparently had some sort of technical failure here. PCM crashed on me, but I'm thinking it was less about PCM and more about a video driver update that maybe didn't get completed or went south, and I've corrected that. But it did lead to me crashing while trying to film the next stage. Turns out, though, when you come back in, because I hadn't completed it, it just puts me back at the beginning of that stage. So I'm not quite sure what I'm going to have captured already, but where we stand right now, I seem to be 7th place in the GC, and I don't know why that is, because the best I've finished is 23rd. I had a 102nd place finish in stage 1 and I think 23rd in stage 2. When I went back and looked, and you can probably see that in this video actually, I'm just recording it in 2 parts, this is what it said when I started the previous segment. So I don't know, there's got to be some corruption or something going on in the data for this right now, but we're just going to ride it and see what happens. I'm going to assume I lost most of what I was recording. So to make a long story short, this is the second time through this for me. I got to about here in the race is where it crashed on me. So I'm not a favorite. I'm pretty sure I'm going to be asked to try to contend for GC, or I'm going to be carte blanche again. All right, so it's asking me to lead the group for 25 kilometers. I'm probably going to hold off on that for now. This is one time where I'm in pretty good contention for the GC, and I'm going to go ahead and try to keep that going. So I'm not going to make this a point of focus for myself. Of course, it's going to send me reminders, hey, don't leave me out in the cold and things like that. But for the most part, I'm going to ignore those for now. What I probably should do is tuck in behind one of my teammates. I think I'm going to do that here with Fernandez. He's here up front. And I'm just going to ride with him for a bit. And we're to the top of this first climb. Looking pretty good. Okay, so something I'm seeing here is that I'm using a considerable amount of energy compared to Fernandez, so while I'm following him, I'm probably saving some energy because, right now we're heading straight into the wind. It would be a lot more efficient if I had somebody I could set as to protect me, but I don't have that ability. They're all grayed out for me right now. Take a look at him. He's a pretty strong mountain rider. Flats and downhill. Okay. Back to me, and we're going to make sure we get up this summit okay. And then after that, we're just going to let it rip until we get close to the final climb there. There we go, steep part there, and we should be over it. And in really good shape. Right in the middle. So here's a quick question, and you can leave a response in the comments if you'd like. I'm curious what people prefer. When I compress a section like this, in the past, in other video series, I would have included some music. Either some music I have access to or something my son has written. My son is a professional musician, and often I've included his music in these kinds of segments. I'm just curious if people prefer the silence or if you would like to hear something there. Just leave a quick comment. I really appreciate it. As you can see, we are closing in on the breakaway. Just as we're hitting halfway, we're about to catch them. 45 seconds, and I'm going to speed up. We should see that. Well, now they're pulling away again. They caught their second wind. Now, one thing I'm realizing is with regards to my green bar here, the pre-race screens showed me that my freshness was considered very good, whereas the rest of my team was excellent. I'm assuming that is why I'm chewing into this a lot more than anybody else, with the exception of Lopez, who was on the break. Looking at the rest of them, they're roughly the same. This one's a little different for Fernandez. He's looked more on par with his, but I clearly have eaten through quite a bit of energy. So I may not have the ability to make a strong finish here. But the good news is I have pretty good hill climbing in the mountains. I'll try to keep it under 85 effort, and we'll see if that allows me to make up any ground and hold on to good contention in the GC. And we're getting really close to the base of this climb. I'm going to go ahead and use my gel. Hope that it hits just as we are hitting the climb, and then I'm going to immediately pull out and do effort cursor as soon as it starts to flash. There it is. I'm going to turn it up to 85. So the timing of the gel was actually pretty good for what I wanted. It kicked in almost right at the base of that, but we've already burned through it. So it's really just going to have to do with what happens with everybody else. I seem to have a good amount of energy and I continue to move forward, but this is a long hill. I'm not sure if I'm going a little too hard. Might not be the worst thing to back off just a little since I am moving forward on everybody. My sense is if I could maintain this pace to the end, I will be in excellent shape. I just don't think I can do that. Down to 80. Yeah, I'm getting really close to bonking now. It's starting to drop a little quicker. Down to 75. Just trying to hold on to the last of that yellow bar there. 5K left. I can sit up for a second, but I don't know that that's going to help. No, didn't help at all. Probably might have made it worse. I'm going to go ahead and bump back up to 80 and let things fall out as they may, down to under 4 kilometers. And here's where we start to chew. Yep, there it goes. So once that bottoms out, there's nothing keeping me from just going up to 99. Down to 2 kilometers. Down to about 1.5. I'm about 300 yards off the front. It looks like they're crossing the line now. Wow, they crossed at almost exactly the same moment based on my watching of that. I'm going to be right up here for a top 20, I think. I'm going to be okay with that. Not quite top 20, top 25. Looks like 24th again. And there it is, 24. So not my best outing ever, but I will certainly take it. Okay, and here we are for results. Hernandez was 6th. I saw that, oh, you know what? He's not my teammate, is he? He's on Hey Guys Beckman. But 24th, minute 38 off the pace. That's okay. No points. No mountain. Young riders, I was 10th today. And our team did middle of the pack. Let's look at the general. Yeah, see, this looks more like what I would think. 24th makes some sense. I've dropped to 24th. I would think this is closer to where I should have been to begin with, honestly. I don't know why I was at 7th. Points, same. With 2 points, I don't know why I was as high up as I was. Looks like I was 31st. Young rider, considerable drop in our team. Climbed. Team improved. So, okay. Yeah, I didn't lead at all. I thought maybe I would end up leading closer to the end, getting ready to hit that big climb, or maybe at the front of that climb. Kind of forgot to pay attention to it after I'd made the decision to not focus on it. I'm not sure I would have really pushed it, to be honest. Probably would have said, you know what, not today. But we'll go ahead and move forward. The next race will be the final stage. Let's see what that one looks like here real quick. All right, it's a 155 kilometer run, a couple of hills in it. These numbers make a lot more sense to me now than what they previously did. So I'm just going to say it was a glitch in the system. Here's where what I was noticing. My freshness was very good. Now Lupez is as well. He was in the breakaway in this last one, if I recall. But this is kind of why I think I was chewing up green bar as quickly as I was, even though I was in the middle of the peloton, kind of following somebody who theoretically was breaking a little bit of the energy use for me. Nonetheless, we will come back in the next video and complete this and see where we head next. I really appreciate your time. And until next time, fair travels.